Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about 5 things you can do to have a better period. So I bet you all are so excited to be on your period every single month and you just look forward to it and treat it like a vacation and you just love all the symptoms and all the fun stuff that you get to feel when you're a woman. Yeah, I know that's not true. I know that it's not always going to be a perfect period every time, and some are going to be worse than others no matter what you do. However, I just want to share with you that there are some ways that you can make your period a little bit better for you and for everyone around you. So I just want to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Katie and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. Here on my channel, I love to share tips on having a positive relationship with food, and we cover various topics on different women's health things, intuitive eating, mindful eating, etc, etc. These are areas that I love to talk about because I have struggled with my own difficulties with food in the past, and I don't want you guys to deal with the same type of thing that I have dealt with. So I choose to share my story and share my tips and information that I have learned in my schooling and beyond with you. So without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about how to make your period better this month. You may be tempted to go low carb since it is such a fashionable fad right now, but actually carbs have a lot of important vitamins and minerals that we need for our body, especially during our period. B6 has been shown to improve symptoms of PMS, including cravings, cramps, and mood swings. And who doesn't want help with some of those symptoms? There is a long list of foods that have B6 in them, but they include whole grains, carrots, sweet potatoes, meat, fish, eggs, spinach, and fortified breakfast cereals. That is not an extensive list, but it is quite a few of the most common areas where you can find B6. So make sure to get a moderate amount of both protein and carbs in your diet when you're on your period. Second tip is to get in light exercise. You may be tempted to call it quits at this time of the month, but actually some light activity can help your symptoms out, especially cramping, and it can boost your mood by increasing those endorphins in your brain. However, you want to keep in mind that during your period, you might have different needs and different activity levels than you would when you're not on your period. I would recommend to go a little bit lighter on the weights and a little bit lighter on the type of cardio you do, and listen to your body. It's super important that you do the listening to your body part. I can't emphasize it enough. Typically, I will move to light resistance weights when I'm doing cross-training workout at home. If I'm doing like a tone it up workout, I will use the 3 to 5 pounds instead of something heavier. When I am doing some cardio, I will stick to very low levels of exertion, and typically I will just do a walk. I won't do anything like a run or fast cardio that is going to be very strenuous, because I find personally that it increases my cramping. If you're not feeling up for exercise on a particular day of your period, make sure to give yourself a rest day and reassess tomorrow. Even if you're taking off a day or two, it doesn't mean you have to take the whole week off, and it doesn't mean, you can't reassess the next day. Listen to your body, listen to what's right for you. No judgment if you need to take a rest day. Tip number 4 is to reduce alcohol and caffeine or cut it out entirely. Alcohol intake has been linked with an increase in the chance of getting PMS. This is, of course, a correlation and not a causation, so they're not 100% sure in these studies whether or not alcohol truly causes it. However, you can listen to your body and see if it works personally for you to cut down on alcohol. So if you have typically a couple glasses a week, you might have 1 instead of 3, or if you hardly have any alcohol, then this is not an issue. If you want to have kind of a similar feel to drinking a glass of wine, then switch to tea or kombucha. This will kind of give you the feeling of sipping a drink without having to have the alcohol intake when your body is not primed to metabolize it. Although caffeine has not been found in research to cause PMS or be linked with causing PMS, it can have symptoms that we do not want to have when we're on our period for certain women out there. Me personally, I feel on my first day or 2 of my period that I cannot have coffee. And I am a coffee addict. I love my coffee, but it will cause me so much pain and cramping when I am first on my period, and it usually goes away by day 3. So again, I just do what's best for me and switch to something that is not coffee, like green tea or herbal tea, or if you like, there are different coffee alternatives that you can have that kind of taste like coffee, I know there's mushroom coffee out there and different powders, like I think it's carob coffee. These are all alternatives that don't have caffeine or have little to no caffeine. They could be a good switch for you if you're on your first couple days of your period, or if you find you are sensitive during your whole period, then you can swap out this when that time comes. Again, no matter what the research says, it is totally up to your body how it reacts to these things during this time of the month. So I encourage you to pay attention to your symptoms and see what causes what and what helps you during this time. My fifth and final tip is to indulge, and don't be afraid to indulge. The reason this is my last tip is because I feel like a lot of us are trying to eat a healthy diet, and what that means is to restrict. And a healthy diet can't include a donut, a healthy diet can't include chocolate, can't include wine, but the truth is that it can. It actually can. And that's honestly what's very important to a healthy diet, is that we trust ourselves enough to let ourselves indulge when we want to and when we need to. This isn't a free pass to indulge anytime we want to, but if we're truly listening to what our body needs, then I don't think that our body would be telling us to eat a donut every day for breakfast for the rest of our lives. Our body knows that we need certain vitamins and minerals, and so once we really get in tune with what our body says and needs, then we can learn to trust it. So when you feel a craving come on and you resist it, it is human psychology that we are more prone to focus in and desire the thing that we can't have more, especially more than if we were allow ourselves to have it openly. The more we restrict, the more we are setting ourselves up for failure. And then if you add hormones to the mix, our cravings and our feeling of self-denial is even bigger, and then we end up indulging even more than we would have planned originally. My best tip for this is to plan out a couple snacks throughout the week that you can have that are indulgences during your period, and stick to those portions. If we pre-plan, we're more likely to stick to it, and we're more likely to have a good sense of what a solid portion is for that dessert. If you are deciding in the moment, in your craving during your period, what portion size of a donut, of chocolate is, no matter what it is, you're gonna pick a larger size more than likely. So stick to your plan and have pre-portioned bags, and maybe only have a small portion available at your house so you're not tempted. And a side tip for that is to don't feel guilty for your indulgence. We all do this and we all need it sometimes. Food is something that should be enjoyed and cherished, and I don't want you to feel like you have to judge yourself for having something that is less than perfect, because we don't have to be perfect eaters to be healthy eaters. Hope you enjoyed some of these tips, and I hope you guys are having a happy period if you are currently struggling on your period. Hopefully next time around you will be prepared and ready to tackle your period head on, and maybe some of these tips will help you. In the meantime, make sure you share some of these tips with a girlfriend, or share this video with a girlfriend who is currently struggling with the same thing. I'm sure that would help them a ton. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.